While the offensive in Gaza intensifies, Israeli soldiers have been raiding towns and cities in the occupied West Bank. Areas near Bethlehem and Jenin have been targeted once again. A young man was killed in the Qalandia refugee camp in northern Jerusalem and his brother arrested. Bulldozers have destroyed roads there, pavements and water supply lines in Jenin. Nida Ibrahim is live for us in Bethlehem. And Nida, perhaps you can give us a bit more detail on what's been going on, these ongoing raids, pressure relentless in the occupied West Bank.
You know, as many analysts would suggest that Israel is not interested in opening another front here in the occupied West Bank, people on the ground are telling you that this intensive use of violence against Palestinians during these raids that never seem to be ending in different places across the occupied West Bank is only making tension brew. You know, the 25-year-old who has been killed in the Qalandia refugee camp, who is, by the way, the second to be killed in 24 hours in the same place in Qalandia, he was behind a door that the Israelis have detonated to enter inside and arrest his brother. Talk about the feelings of injustice, the feeling of pain amongst those families who are losing their loved ones. All in all, across the occupied West Bank, we're talking about more than 40 Palestinians who have been arrested as a result of those raids. They are intensifying, but also there is something that we've been seeing happening sporadically, now is becoming more of like a policy, detaining family members in order to get people to hand themselves over to the Israeli forces. So when they go to a house or to a city and they don't find someone, they arrest their relatives and then pressuring them to hand themselves in. This is the case that we're seeing across the occupied West Bank, and those raids have also happened here where I am in Bethlehem. You know, this city around this time usually celebrates Christmas, usually is festive, you know, but this year all Christmas celebrations have been cancelled. And I want to show you a little bit from in front of the Lutheran church here in Bethlehem, where the pastor and some of the Christian families have decided to mark Christmas in a different way. Instead of having a Christmas tree that is decorated with ornaments, we're seeing baby Jesus wrapped in a kofiyeh, Palestinian kofiyeh, and is placed in a manger under the rubble. We'll talk a little bit more about that with Pastor Mudar Ishaq at the Lutheran Church. What's the idea behind having Jesus under the rubble instead of a Christmas tree?
Christmas celebrations are cancelled this year in Bethlehem for obvious reasons. It's impossible to celebrate when there is a massacre, a genocide taking place in Gaza with our people. And so the idea was to send a message to the world first, but also to ourselves. A message to the world that this is what Christmas looks like in Palestine. This is what Christmas looks like in Bethlehem, the birthplace of Jesus. Children being pulled from under the rubble, families being displaced with their homes destroyed. And while the world is celebrating Christmas, at the birthplace of Jesus, this is what Christmas looks like.
This is usually a season for celebrations and also a season for hope. Is there hope left?
We have hope in our faith. We have hope. The Christmas story actually gives us hope in the fact that Jesus was born among the occupied. This is what happened 2,000 years ago. And so going back to this manger setting, it tells us that baby Jesus is in solidarity with those who are suffering, with those who are oppressed. So in this Christmas, we find our only source of hope is our faith in a just God and in our solidarity with one another. And I hope that this message gets to the world, that we are united in Palestine. And sadly, right now, we are united in our pain.
There's so much detail going on here at building this manger. Can you tell me a little bit more about how you placed the manger and all those details?
Yeah, the image basically came from what we see on our screens, children being pulled out of the rubble and people coming and searching under the rubble to find any sign of life, any sign of hope. These images have broken us, and we wanted to bring them to the church. And usually, a typical manger would have baby Jesus in the middle, and then the Holy Family, the shepherds and the magi surrounding him. But this time around, we thought of all these characters in the in the gospel narrative, in the Christmas narrative, being around the house as if they are searching for Jesus, as if they are trying to find him in the midst of the rubble with dust all over them. Again, we want to bring the Christmas story, make it real in our context today. And I think if Jesus is to be born today, he would be born under the rubble in Gaza with those who are suffering. And the Magi's and the shepherds would come and search for Jesus in the midst of the rubble of a destroyed house, as we see today.
Thank you so much, Pastor Mundar Ishaq of the Lutheran Church. He was just telling me earlier that while the celebrations of Christmas have been cancelled, the prayers will not stop, and they will keep praying and hoping for peace.
Nida, Ibrahim, heartbreaking stuff. Thanks for that.